Welcome to Constantine Presidential Hour once again. We are here live from the Constantine Forum. Once again, this is your chance to actually put forth your issues, find out the working about the committee, quiz the president, put forth your criticisms, and send some good ideas and suggestions for implementation. So we start off with our lovely panel today. If we can just have quick introductions.
Hi, my name is Thomas Falco. I'm a Constantine resident and I'm a third year student.
And
I'm James Siklos-Willens. I'm also a Constantine resident and a master's student in cognitive neuroscience.
Wonderful. So just a quick announcements actually following on from last time before we go on to questions. I was asked about Wi-Fi issues in particular, and we've had frequent drops for the network that have been happening within Constantine College. So I just did an inquiry, contacted IT services. I've been reporting it on an individual basis early on, so thank you for everyone who's been coming through me. IT services did say that please, if we can have all issues sent to them directly as well, one by one, they should be able to come back faster on that. But they did send out a general email as well, so hopefully you've received that. Saying that they are working on issues. Janet, which is the backbone network of the university, was down on Saturday 21st February when we had a large issue at 7:30 till 9 o'clock was the period that I'd actually seen outage. But anyone else who's been having issues, please feel free to contact IT services. They did say that their Twitter account gives feedback on it regularly on what the situation is. The problem is obviously if the internet's down, we can't access Twitter through the campus internet services. So they did say if people have external services such as 3G network on their phone, can they please access it from there? It's not an ideal solution, but until we get an internal network sorted, that's the way that they're doing it at the moment. So if you have any issues, please feel free to get into contact with IT services. They've asked me to relay an apology on their behalf. So to anyone who's been having connectivity issues or who's been frustrated or who's had work dropped, they did give an apology to myself to relay to the rest of the college. But if you're frustrated, please tell IT services, and I hope they get a solution for it. We can start off with our quick panel discussion now, so we can take questions that are arising about anything that people have that they'd like to have discussed about the committee, about the college, or about the university. So,
Should I want to go first?
yes.
Sure. So my question, I guess, would be on the just general state of the campus, the college. I was just wondering about as particularly over Block D and D1 and D2, what we should do about the trash issue and all the garbage that's just being thrown into the little moats and whatnot there, because they seem to be getting quite filled with trash and animals are getting into them, and we definitely need to sort that out.
Yes. Definitely the garbage issue has, in fact it hasn't been reported as such before, so it's really a thing that does need to be looked at. Just been looking at the garbage that's accumulating because of people throwing it down, so potentially I could speak to our college administrator, Jackie Fountain, and she will have a word with the cleaning team to send out what people should be doing, and they should be throwing garbage over there. Potentially, how should we address this? I'm sorry about that. How should we address this in an ideal situation? Jackie said that if we can have queries relayed to her directly as well, and through me, obviously you're very welcome to do that. But how should we address this issue? How should we solve it? Any suggestions on queries or?
Well, perhaps a quick, sit down with each room or whatnot about how to dispose of their trash, how not to dispose of their trash, what bins are for what certain recyclables and trash, whatnot. Perhaps that would be a good idea. Other than that, though, I can't really think of anything.
Give them a fine. Give a fine.
Give a fine, yeah.
That's what we were potentially coming to. But would that be a reasonable way to proceed, to actually fine people that?
I don't think so.
It would be a start, but it might be unpopular to actually have fines, but it would actually address the aesthetic issue that people do not throw any garbage.
Yeah.
Oh yes, definitely. What we have is we have college tutors at the moment within the college who frequently have chats with various flats that are assigned to them. I know D block is actually assigned to Niels Mining, and I could actually follow up with the college officer to ask Niels and potentially other blocks if we are having the same issue with their moats. That people are actually throwing garbage in there, to have discussion with their flat. But potentially we could go down the route of finding people if they're spoiling the scenery, because basically from an aesthetic perspective, Constantine is expected to be the newest and therefore potentially the aesthetically most pleasing college. But things like that are actually spoiling the aesthetic environment, and it would be wonderful to have that followed up. Is there any other potential suggestion? Maybe a fine, maybe talks, potentially other ways that we could actually solve the issue?
Perhaps just more trash cans and more places to throw this rubbish.
True.
Because I know that the glass containers and some of the trash bins fill up quite quickly, and people just tend to leave the trash on the ground, and then animals get into it and spread it around. So it may not just be people throwing trash into these moats, but animals getting into the trash bins and whatnot. I don't know.
Yes, in which case, I mean, potentially it could be animals that are actually distributing the trash throughout. So the trash, the sites where we do have trash stored, we could have the compartments closed easily so that animals don't get in and then move the trash around. The other very good point that was mentioned was more trash cans, because walking from D block till the forum, for example, there's one trash can on the side of D1, but if you walk through the main road, there are no trash bins as such if somebody actually does a walk. So a quick walk for the college team, that they could actually walk around to see that the number of trash cans are not enough, and we could potentially have more disposal sites and have them covered so that animals don't get access to them very easily. That would be a great suggestion. The council had this issue recently that they had garbage cans filling up. So what they implemented was, on the cans they had a light saying, is this trash can full? And then anybody walking within the vicinity of that can see the light from far away, and they can go to another trash can. So there are potentially various technological solutions to this as well. And we are the news college, we should be implementing the latest technology as such. So excellent suggestion. Should we go on to the next question?
I was wondering if you could possibly give an update on what's happening with the pathway from our college to Sports Village.
Oh yes, the pathway. So at the moment, that particular point has not actually been taken forward as such. The state services are not looking into it as such, but I was looking to get demand on that. That is an excellent suggestion, particularly since there's a huge vacant spot of land and a pathway could be built. What they said was that, or what the plans are, it hasn't actually been raised as such. What the plans are is that that particular area will be developed into 2 new colleges. And if they produce a path, the path will eventually need to be knocked down. I'm sorry. That's the... Yeah, sorry about that. That's the plan at the moment, to have the college built over there. But definitely a pathway, even if it's a rough pathway, but if it's held through that block of land, then that would make it so much faster and so much more convenient. So I can follow up it with the estates to ensure that we actually, because I have a regular discussion with estates, one of the very good ideas that was suggested recently by email was to actually have the signs on the new roads that are being built. So behind D block, if anybody's resident in D block or even E block would have noticed that there's a new road built at the back. So anyone asking for deliveries can actually ask the delivery driver to park on that road rather than in front of the college and have to walk all the way with their shopping. So thank you for all the ideas that are coming in. That's a very good idea that needs to be taken forward, and I can discuss with the estates whether something potentially a low-cost solution could be produced for that before, because the next college, to be fair, it'll be at least 2 years before it comes. So they can any road that's built or any path that's built will survive for 2 years at least. and then and it'll be really useful. It'll cut down the current time, which is about 10 minutes to walk to the sports village, to about 5 minutes, I would assume, or thereabouts. Which in the grand scheme of things will add up for the number of people that are using it. So I can definitely follow up with the states. Thank you very much for that suggestion. Thank you. Should we go on to our next point? That is actually next question that's coming up, or I could take a question from that's come up before as well.
Yeah, I just have one more question.
Yeah.
These gardening pots that we have outside of our buildings, I'm just wondering how much free rein we have to plant things in there.
Which gardening pots are we
Like
talking about?
those little plots of
Oh yes.
land that are in between each one of the colleges, or not colleges, but buildings.
Yes.
I was just wondering if we have free rein to just plant flowers and
Oh yes, definitely. That's an excellent question, because it has come out in some of the meetings that potentially a vegetable patch, such as those that have been in Langwith and have been placed in Goodrick, and I think at least in Wanborough as well, would be really nice, because it means that people can actually grow whatever they want and take fresh items from there. So strawberries, lettuce, cucumbers, all sorts of salad can be grown there directly. At the moment, because there's a huge patch of land, but as far as I'm aware, I can follow this up, is that we can't actually plant anything over there, but what we can get is vegetable patches, which can be put within Constantine, and we can plant whatever we want over there. So would that be a solution to the problem?
Sure. Yeah.
As far as I know, we can't plant anything in those patches just yet, but when we get those wooden patches that we build up, we can get some food over there. So Langwith is a very good example, because it's our neighbour. We can just walk past Philip Brockbank Court, and just outside there's a huge patch in which I think I saw some lettuce and possibly a tomato as well growing there. So although it has been fair to be, it has been in place for a year. So they have got progress. How many people are using that I'm not sure of the statistics just yet, but it's an excellent idea, and somebody who had suggested the vegetable patch before, and it will definitely be going ahead. I can actually push for it to be implemented far sooner. So thank you very much for that suggestion.
I'd definitely be in support of that.
And it would be very useful, because we're not only the green college, not only the greenest college due to environmentally friendly construction material, but we would also be producing our own food as well. So we're ensuring food sustainability on a small scale to begin with, but eventually it will grow, and if the idea takes off, we'll have our own self-sustaining salads at least, which would be really nice. Constantine salads, wonderful. Love it. Should we go on to our next point, or a point that's been raised as well?
Could you provide an update on the grocery store campaign?
Oh, excellent suggestion actually, because that's huge at the moment. So Heslington Supermarket is a huge requirement, and this going around Constantine College alone every flat seems to want it, because of the fact that if you go to any flat, I think there's a 1 in 5 or probably a 1 in 3 chance that you'll see a shopping crate over there in the flat kitchen. And that's because shopping is such a huge issue over here, and because there's no shop, people order things from online grocery stores and have them delivered over here. So what's actually happening is the Heslington Supermarket campaign has been going around for a little while now, since November at least. Since this campus was built 6 years ago, there's been no supermarket over here. They've made stopgap measures, such as we're getting milk sold at much higher prices within the Ronco Hub, but they're just very minor items. They've got a shelf in which they put some items and they charge them at high prices. So what we are doing is we're hoping to get a Heslington Supermarket in place very soon. So so the campaign has started. Thank you to everyone who's actually put up posters, sent in post-it notes. That's excellent. All your comments are wonderful. We did get 2 councillors in to have a look at that. So thank you for putting that up. The planning committee, however, said that we only look at comments on the council webpage. So thank you for everyone within the college who has actually put in comments, as well as within Langwith Goodrick. and the other colleges on site. We've got 195 potentially supporting comments the last time I checked. So if you haven't already put in a supporting comment, please do so. We were aiming to get 200, which means we're just 5 short at the moment, so you might be the lucky 200th for all we know. So thank you to everyone who's been putting in comments, and keep continuing to do so. What the plan is at the moment is that, and this is a temporary one, it's not confirmed yet, but the 27th of March, which is the 27th of this month, is when the planning committee will sit down and make a decision on whether they will actually give planning permission to produce a supermarket or not. There'll be other things as part of the supermarket as well. There'll be a health center and a pharmacy within that, as well as additional retail outlets such as a hot food takeaway, which actually, speaking to people, is a huge demand.
Could we organise to have a prize for the 200th supporter on Facebook, so that we get a load of people all trying to do it at once?
Oh yeah. That's an excellent suggestion. And since we're just 5 comments short, the two come over there, and the 200th person will have an announcement, and they can have a session at Presidential Hour where they'll be the one in the hot seat.
That's not a good thing to promote.
Oh, okay.
A signed photo of Usman.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh,
They can have a signed
Signed
photo.
photo.
They can have
Shaking hands.
and shaking hands as well. So yeah, we have
a free meal as well.
and a meal and some food as well around.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's better.
Yeah, you'll get lots of things as part of it. So feel free to produce your comments. We're trying to convince the council at the moment, so please continue to put in your comments. There's only a small window of time left. I was told that it was closing a few days ago, but it's still open at the moment. So feel free to please put in your comments. The planning committee, we're just looking at the objections actually, and the trajectory of the objections. They were first quite significantly against the idea, but now they've warmed themselves up to the idea, and it's all been due to your supportive comments. And if we analyze it, it actually benefits everyone concerned. There's no potential drawback. The green issue was raised at the potential site, maybe greenbelt land, but the plans have considered that, and it's going to be more environmentally friendly. There'll be more trees, and it's actually greener development than it is currently. So there shouldn't be any objections. It benefits the students, it benefits the staff, it benefits the businesses on Heslington East campus of the University of York, and it benefits the local community as well. They have easy access to the doctors and an additional supermarket as well. So all in all, anyone late at night, for example, studying, also has a hot food takeaway in close proximity. So all in all, it actually benefits everyone concerned, and if we're happy to see that, we should be able to get a supermarket in the shortest possible time. So if the trajectory holds up, if you can put it in your comments supporting not only the supermarket, its location, and show the fact that it actually benefits everyone concerned, there shouldn't be any objections at all. That would be very helpful. So the ideal timeline is that the 27th of March we'll actually get planning committee application, depending on your comments and your support, which hopefully influences the committee, the planning committee, to actually accept it. And I would also ask for people to be present at the planning committee discussion, which happens at 11 a.m. on Friday the 27th of March. If there's student support, even if people don't say anything, but just their mere presence will ensure that the planning committee considers us and takes our views into account, and it implements that. They're already, they seem to be inclined to favor us, but we'd rather actually show our support to get it done as soon as possible. It's been 6 years since Goodrick moved to, since this campus was developed and the first college was built, which is Goodrick College, and to not have a supermarket while we have 3 colleges, 1,900 resident students, 4,000 students altogether daily that come on this campus, and we have staff and businesses, is quite a poor reflection of us, and we should address that. We don't want another college to come about and we still don't have a supermarket. So the ideal timeline is that the 27th of March, hopefully we get the planning committee giving approval to our application, and then after that the supermarket will be built, and Tesco said that they can actually build a supermarket within 1 month, within a larger plot of land. So it's very promising that we can get one in very soon. What the university's Director of Commercial Services, John Greenwood, said that we can, with our building contractors who are Evans, we can get a supermarket within 9 months. We can get the entire development done within 9 months, which is not as promising as Tesco's recommendation of a month, but it does mean that we will get something, and hopefully very soon. I did request that if they can develop it in tiers so that we can get the supermarket ready sooner, that would be wonderful. So let's see how it progresses, but it's your support which will get us through. So if you can put in comments, 200 comment, you'll get a prize. In fact, I can give you a meal in the courtyard if you want, so there's your incentive. Come along and you'll get some pictures as well, so. And I can get you to meet the user president as well, so. Excellent, so you've got your incentive. We're 5 comments short, so 200 person. We're looking forward to your presence, and if you could be physically present at the planning committee meeting on the 27th of March. Yes, it is out of term time, which is a bit difficult, but if you can still be, that's absolutely wonderful. So thank you so much to all the 195 people who have put in supporting comments. Without you, we wouldn't have got this far, and hopefully we've actually got enough support, and with a few more and people being present, we can actually make this a reality. So let's work together to make this happen. Thank you. We'll go on. We'll go on to our next question of the evening. So we can either have a question from our lovely panelists and or have more panelists in our discussion, or we can actually go on to a question that's come in online.
I have no more questions.
Okay, we might get more questions as we come along. Just a reminder, once again, the session is only lasting until 7:30. So if you want to come in, it's a live session within the Constantine Forum. And just coming back, this is Constantine Presidential Hour. This is your chance to give your feedback, any criticisms, find out the working of your committee, and give some good ideas and suggestions for implementation. So this is your suggestion. We're being completely transparent to yourself. All your ideas and all your discussions, bring them over here and they'll get addressed in Quiz the President, and you have a lovely panel as well to speak to. So your session, and you get some food as well. So all the way to benefit from. Even if you're here for a few minutes, you'll get your comments heard. So please feel free to come along. I'll just go back to one of the comments that was actually sent online. So what we did have was mail delivery, and this was something that's actually been following up from last week. So B block in particular, and please tell me if there are any other problems within other blocks as well, but within B block, within 3 flats at least, I've had comments that mail is not being received in time. In fact, it's been delayed by 3 to 4 weeks at least. And I was just inquiring what the process was, and the college officer told me that there's a postman who actually comes. His name is. Just bear with me a moment, and I'll.
And his address.
Is this the one that comes around and posts the letters in?
That's exactly the one. Yes. So there's a mail. There's someone from Royal Mail who comes in. Or Steve is his name. So sorry about that. So Steve comes in every day to bring in post to Constantine. So sorry about that. Yeah. So what we do have is we have postman Steve who comes in every day to Constantine from Royal Mail, brings post directly, and any queries that on delays that are happening within the college, which should be happening. We've got our postcodes assigned 6 months ago before we actually even moved into the college. So any problems that you have, they can either be raised with the college officer, and I've already raised the issues that have already happened. So she'll speak to the postman Steve from Royal Mail to see why this is happening. Just coming back to the issues, what we're having in B block is that Christmas cards, for example, are still being delivered now, as in March. So there's been a huge delay, plus any post that's been coming in from home, or even important documents such as P45 work forms. are getting massive delay. So we're just seeing where this delay is. I spoke to the mail room, and the mail room said that any mail that comes in, they had a slightly different take on it, and they said any mail that comes in is sorted for Goodrick, Langwith and Constantine, meaning the Hes East colleges, and sent to the Goodrick mail room. And over there the Langwith porter comes in and takes all the mail for Langwith and Constantine, and for Constantine the porter delivers all that mail directly. So I've got two separate methods in which post is delivered. I'm not entirely sure which one is the accurate one, other than speaking to, other than potentially tracking a mail to see who's touched it and do some forensic analysis of that, which would be interesting. But there are two potential methods that I've been told that mail comes, either through the mail room or through the postman Steve directly. But why there's a delay, we're still not sure at the moment. If you're still experiencing a delay, please come back to myself or follow it up with the college team, or raise it with the mail room who handles it. Nigel Smith is the person who's familiar with the issue, and he's the head of the mail room within Heslington West and the overall head. So please feel free to call him. I don't have his extension to hand, but it would be good to actually either call him or drop in over there to see what's happening to our mail. What he did tell me was, if you've got a specific parcel that you're missing or a specific letter, please mail him directly, and he can follow it up with Royal Mail to see exactly what's happening. And he was quite apologetic about the issue happening as well, and he said he can definitely follow it up with Royal Mail. So thank you for the report. As far as I'm aware, it's only happening in B block, but if you have any other blocks that it's happening in, either send your query to me or to Nigel directly, and we can get it followed up. The specifics would be even better. So thank you for that. And we did have a follow-up. If we have any further queries from the panel, or we can go to one more question that's there.
I've got a bit of a suggestion.
Oh yes, definitely.
When I was living in Constantine College a few years ago, and they used to have like these little boxes near to the quarters, like office, and it was for people to donate any unwanted food at the end of term, and the food was then picked up by the local food bank. Would it be possible to have something similar here?
That's an absolutely excellent suggestion that was raised by Tom. So we can actually have food, unused food items at the end of, is that at the end of every term, or is that at the end of the year?
I think it was at the end of every term.
Oh, end of every term. So end of every term in Derwent, we actually have potential drop-off points for excess food that can be collected and donated to the local food bank. We don't have one over here, and I'm so sorry about that, because it is the end of term coming up now, so we can't actually get one implemented just in the next, tomorrow is the end of term, so we can't get one implemented within 1 day, so I apologize profusely for that. But what I can look for is to actually get a drop-off point for food at the end of the year, so that they can come and collect any excess food. Rather than going to waste, we can actually have it delivered to the local food bank. We're still on the lookout for the best charity for Constantine College, so if you have any suggestions, please feel free to send your suggestions for which charity we should be supporting, whether it's any particular food bank or Help the Homeless, which is what Wanborough is doing. We're still unsure, we're still undecided at the moment, so if you have any recommendations for which charity we'll be supporting, I very much welcome your suggestions. So thank you for that comment. I'll definitely get it followed up.
Usman, what are those premium chocolates you're serving up here?
Oh yes, so today we did have, it is the last presidential hour of the spring term, so we did have some seahorse chocolates that are here today, so that's one more incentive for you to come down. Our lovely panelists and extra people who come down are most welcome to that, as well as the food over here and the discussion. I love the discussion that actually comes out over here, which is quite intellectual, and we get some excellent ideas. There are two more discussion points actually that were sent to me, and it'll be excellent to get the views of our panel on that. The first one is to actually do with the fact that the laundry machines are, their contract is due up for renewal, and is there any problem in laundry that we've been having or which people are aware of, which we could potentially report back on to Circuit Laundry, who are the current contractors within by the university?
Well, it's too expensive for one.
Okay, yeah.
Another is that the cards that you have to buy for them don't give you the exact amount that you need to pay, so you always end up paying more money for them than you can spend on them. Because you're only like what? It's like 20, 10, and 5 that you can spend on it.
Oh yes.
And they charge like £1.20, £1.30 for. So you never even out with your cards. So you're always spending more money.
Corruption.
Yeah, it's literally is just stealing money from us. So maybe implementing a coin drop system where you just put in coins and you don't have to buy a card for it, or I don't know, just making it cheaper in general.
Thousands of uni students, that's all going to add up, isn't it? All those 20p's.
Yeah.
You're going to end up with a lot of extra money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have like a pound on 2 cards, and I can't spend that because you can't combine cards with other cards.
Yeah.
So you're just stuck with it, with a piece of plastic that's useless.
That's one of many capitalism problems.
Oh, it's ingenious for sure, but it kicks me in the keister.
Because it's actually happening at the moment, those were excellent comments. How should I get it from the rest of the college potentially? Should I open it up on Facebook, which is what Halifax has done, and then we got a massive list of comments that can be compiled together, or should I leave a feedback form within the laundry room, which is ideally the place where if people have lost money or they've pressed the wrong button and lost money because of that, they are completely aware of the issue and they can write it down immediately, or potentially both.
Both would probably, I would suggest both, because not everybody has Facebook that uses the laundry, and people who have Facebook might not see it when they're down there or notice what it is. They just go and throw their laundry in. So
Oh yes.
both would be preferred in my opinion.
Oh yes, feedback forms. So it'll be feedback forms through Facebook and through a physical feedback form. Do we have any other suggestions as well, potentially, for getting more feedback? No. Okay. No, that's absolutely fine. And the other thing that was raised was I was actually promoting, and our committee has been promoting, a grand summer event at the end of the year. Now, over here, we're looking for, we still haven't thought of our brand name, so if our lovely panel can actually come up with a brand name, that would be wonderful. The temporary working name is Constantine Carnival, which will be happening on Saturday the 30th of May, which is Saturday week 7. And we would have, it's still in the process of being planned. We'll have various points where we'll have a bouncy castle, and we'll have the selling of food and so on. But if you have any ideas on what is Constantine's first massive event of the summer, first summer event. So Goodrick has already established a tradition through Goodfest. Langwith has organized a Langwith Summer Day, which has become their standard. This will be our signature event of the year, so what should we be having potentially? The suggestion is for a Constantine Carnival, but we want to be transparent, we want to have the college's side as well, so what does our lovely panel think about?
Elephants.
Elephants?
Oh, bring in elephants. That's a grand out-of-the-box suggestion, and how could we organize that?
Maybe monkeys, like some sort of animal that would really engage people. I think you can get monkeys quite easily.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, by the barrel, right?
Yeah.
Monkeys by the barrel.
We have plenty of hares in this campus, so actually getting some hares in would be
You can set up some sort of fight ring for them.
or our next door neighbors would actually call Badger Hill due to the excess number of badgers.
So badgers. Badger Colin. It's not a Constantine Carnival. It's going to get good reviews.
Do we have any other suggestions on potential things that we should be hosting? Because that's our massive event of the summer. I was hoping to have a formal as well, in addition, following on from our ball that happened in winter. So hopefully that would have good take up as well. But should we be hosting any other things that we've not been doing, or we should be? This is again your chance to have open feedback. So it's feedback from the college about what the committee should be doing.
You can never go wrong with music and dancing.
Yeah, excellent. We should definitely
Never
have
go
that
wrong
in our
with that.
summer event. In fact, it's actually after examinations, although it's still masters and postgraduate students will still be doing their work, but it does mean it's still after examinations, so people, even if they want to come out for an hour or a couple of hours or more, they're most welcome to join in.
Yeah.
So, any other suggestions that we should be hosting as well?
Seeing as Constantine was a famous Roman emperor, we could always do like some sort of Colosseum arena type of thing to like celebrate the Romans.
Oh, an arena. Yeah, that's an interesting suggestion. At the start of the year, we got a Constantine helmet, but that since then has just been filed in our store rather than actually brought out. So, a potential arena. At the moment, it's still being
I can
planned.
see that going wrong
Yeah.
so quick.
Are we getting tigers like Colosseum Arena? Is that what you're talking?
With actual physical animals.
Physical violence.
From a safety perspective, that may not be the ideal policy going forward.
I don't think that's in the spirit of.
We'd get noticed as a college.
We will
We were
definitely
killing
get
the
noticed. But yeah, this is your chance for feedback, so give any suggestions that you'd like. That's a good suggestion. I would argue that maybe instead of live animals, we might have some other format of actually ensuring that people enjoy their time as well. Potentially an end of exam.
No, sorry, go on.
But then,
Have them sumo suits for people to like in sumo suit things that people have. Like that's the out feature. Like at parties.
Yeah.
yeah. I haven't actually come
If the-
across that feature. So the feature was.
It's like a party thing, and at parties you have like a little arena, and people have you can hire like these sumo suits, and then it's like a sumo fight with like reach over because it's like really protective gear.
Yes.
That never gets hurt.
Oh, okay. As long as no one is getting hurt, that's an excellent suggestion. We can definitely put that forward. It's Constantine's first summer event. We're brand new college, so yeah, the discussion is wonderful, and we can have anything implemented at the moment. Yes.
Constantine Colosseum of Dance. That's what you want.
Constantine Colosseum
I
of
like
Dance.
it.
Now that's excellent
It's a class.
suggestion actually for our brand.
Dance.
Love the suggestion of a Colosseum because it actually comes up from Constantine, so it's from the Roman times as well. So, and since no one can go wrong with dance or music,
You can.
that is a good suggestion. That's an excellent brand name, and I would actually argue for that as our best brand name at the moment.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Just a feedback on our motto competition as well. So that was held earlier on. That we asked people to suggest mottos. So thank you to everyone who has put in mottos. Unfortunately, that competition has not gotten started just yet. So what we are going to do is there's going to be a meeting. Today is the 12th of March. Tomorrow on the 13th of March there's going to be a meeting at which those mottos will be shortlisted to a smaller set, and then those will be open for a vote to the entire college early next term. So please get round to voting on that. If you still have any motto suggestions which you haven't suggested and which you feel that the college should have, since we're a brand new college, this is your college, so you get a chance to send it to me and I'll put it forward to our meeting, although that has to be really soon because the meeting is tomorrow afternoon. So thank you for everyone who has sent in college mottos. If our lovely panel would want to suggest another motto, that's you're most welcome to do so.
Carpe diem.
Carpe diem, like that. Seize the moment,
I think it's
or
the
seize the
day.
day. I think.
Latin nonetheless.
Latin nonetheless. Yes. We actually have it open as well, whether we want to have our motto in Latin or actually have an English motto, and then that could be translated into Latin for anyone who would like that as well. So. Both suggestions as well as your ideas on what you prefer would be very welcome. So please feel free to send this over as potentially where this gets hosted. Put a comment in that, so if we actually get it on YouTube, please feel free to put in comments over there because they are seen. So thank you to everyone who's actually put them in. Our discussion was wonderful today, and I'm sorry that it has to be brought to a close, but we are getting to that time. where presidential R unfortunately needs to be closed for the rest of the term. So this is our last one for the term. So thank you to everyone who's actually put in comments, who sent in suggestions either through the internet and through our lovely panelists over here. So thank you everyone. See you next term and have a good